So we started in 2020 and we did a lot of other things. So we did like paid media management. We've tried so many different advertising venues, even going back to my last company, which was Home Improvement Energy, like local service here in LA. At that company, we did Facebook ads, billboards, bus ads, mailers, almost anything you could think of. And I helped grow that company to 35 million a year. One of the best things that we invested in was PR. When starting AnotherZero and thinking about, okay, what actually helped me in my past companies grow and scale? And one of the best investments was, getting those as seen on logos, building our credibility, setting us apart from the competition, and being able to charge more and stop competing on price.
PR makes a big difference, right? And in your opinion, why is personal branding so important?
So I want to go two ways with this.
Yes, personal brand is important. What do most people usually get wrong about personal branding, in your opinion?
Yeah, so a lot of people, they think, for example, with PR, a lot of people, they'll get featured in, let's say, Forbes, and they won't really do much with it. They kind of look at it as like a vanity trophy that they, put on their shelf, but it's...
The code to winning insights you need today to seize the world tomorrow. Today, we actually have a very amazing guest. We right now still in the golden state of California and in the city of Angel, Los Angeles. As you can see, this beautiful studio, skyscrapers, Staples Center, LeBron James, Laker Nation, Hollywood. Yes. And without further ado, if you guys are interested in upscaling your business, in trying to get the best PR and marketing firm in 2025, this is the episode for you. I have a guest today who's very good at helping entrepreneurs grow their businesses, feature in magazine outlets such as Forbes and many others that we're going to be discussing in this episode today. If you're curious in growing your brand, growing your business, getting social media presence, getting that boost and growth, and also getting recognized internationally and also nationally, of course, again, this is the episode for you. So without further ado, I have the CEO and founder of AnotherZero. I have Nic in the studio. Welcome, brother. How are you doing?
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. That was an amazing intro. So my name is Nic Abelian. I'm the founder of AnotherZero. Over the past year, we've probably helped over 5,000 businesses, entrepreneurs, coaches get featured in the news and grow their bottom line. And it's how we've become the #1 rated marketing agency, SEO service, and public relations firm across all businesses on Trustpilot. And I'm excited to get into everything.
Now, I'm curious. And now the reason why I was saying that, some of my viewers might like the approach of how I'm going to be doing this thing. Some might not, but it's one of those things where I want to really ask a lot about, like, personally for me, and of course for people that are out there that may be in a similar situation that I am currently right now, where there is growth. It's steady, it's slow, it's consistent, it's organic, it's amazing. But it's at the point it's like now trying to get that reach. I think I'm handsome enough to be in the Forbes magazine for the most part. I'd like to think that at least. But I want to try and get into these strategies. When did you start your company?
So we started in 2020 and we did a lot of other things. So we did like paid media management. We've tried so many different advertising venues. And even going back to my last company, which was a Home Improvement Energy, like local service here in LA. At that company, we did, Facebook ads, billboards, bus ads, mailers, almost anything you could think of. And I helped grow that company to 35 million a year. And one of the best things that we invested in was PR. So when starting AnotherZero and thinking about, okay, what actually helped me in my past companies grow and scale? And one of the best investments was, getting those as seen on logos, building our credibility, setting us apart from the competition, and being able to charge more and, stop competing on price. Because when you look, nowadays with how the internet is and AI, it's very easy to start a business, but it's very hard to stand out. So that's what we help do with businesses.
Okay, and I think it's so important right now because I look at a lot of like trendy in industries, there's usually the few people that do stand out. Like right now, the YouTubers are taking off, and you see people like I Show Speed. He's racing somebody every single day. But in my mind, I'm telling you, there has to be some sort of PR like behind it and trying to get him the right races for him to blow up, and because he's out there with the FIFA president and all these different stuff. And in my mind, I'm like, man, like PR makes a big difference, right? And in your opinion, why is personal branding so important?
So I want to go two ways with this because I think for most people, it's very different than how it is for like, I Show Speed or, these big brands that already have huge followings. But the entrepreneur that's just starting out that, maybe doesn't even have their first client or they're just starting to get a few clients, for them, it's so important because it shows that they're credible to deliver on what they're promising. So when you're first starting out, when you talk to a client, it's, do they trust you and do they believe that you're actually going to deliver? And PR and personal branding is so important in that because it shows that you are actually an expert in what you're doing. They should listen to you, and you can deliver on whatever you're going to do. On the other side, when you already have a personal brand, like Speed and the way he's doing it, it's so important because once you get to that level, it's very hard to keep growing through paid advertising, but it's very easy to do strategic partnerships with, let's say, FIFA and Speed. They're kind of trading their audiences and growing together that way. So it's through strategic partnerships that allow them to grow like the next step. But personal branding is so important. It's it's how, like if you look at The Rock, McGregor, Kylie Jenner, Hailey Bieber, they've all grown billion-dollar businesses almost overnight. And let's say for McGregor, whiskey, or The Rock, tequila. Like these are companies that they probably they're not even experts in maybe, but through their personal brand, they were able to leverage that and grow it into a billion-dollar company. So that's where personal branding is so important.
I actually like that example you made because it's so true. Because in my mind, I'm like, I don't think even like Speed and them folks are paying paid ad because it's at the point. But my thing is, just to add on that, because I feel like yes, personal brand is important. What do most people usually get wrong about personal branding, in your opinion?
Yeah, so a lot of people, they think, for example, with PR, a lot of people, they'll get featured in, let's say, Forbes, and they won't really do much with it. They kind of look at it as like a vanity trophy that they, put on their shelf. But it's such a powerful tool that if leveraged correctly, it does so much more. So what people do wrong a lot is they'll get these features, but they won't do much with it. And the same thing happens with reviews and testimonials and other great things that their company might have, those assets, and they don't know how to leverage it. So what we try to do is, once our customers are featured in the news, once we get them that press, that asset is something that they can use forever. It's something that they should have on their website, on their ads, in their, when someone's waiting on the phone, let's say they have a law firm and it's, the on hold recording, it should even mention like, oh, did you know so-and-so was featured in Forbes for the best lawyer in Los Angeles? Things like that are ways to leverage the feature to make it go 10 times, 100 times further. So a lot of times what people get wrong is they'll get it and they won't do much with it. They think it's going to be a magic bullet that changes everything, but it can if you use it right, if you leverage it.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Which kind of segues to this because I know you probably have experienced this thing. I mean, I travel a lot, but one of the things I've noticed is that I usually like when I travel somewhere, maybe stop at a small town and go to like a local food place. And so between Idaho and Utah, I was traveling so much. And in between them, like border state, there was like a gas station, but next to this gas station, there was a place that sold the most like delicious burgers I've ever had in my entire life. But at the same time, like my go-to if I'm hungry, like at night, it's like, oh my gosh, let me get a quick Big Mac or like In-N-Out double animal style. It's a brand that's right there. which the question I'm going to with this, there's people out there that have a great product, they have a great service that they're offering, but they actually have no audience and they have like no branding whatsoever. If somebody were to approach you with absolutely zero and like nobody even knows them, what's the first thing that your company or you guys would do to fix that?
Yeah, so that's such a great point because I'll get to the question, but just to add on to your point, those hidden gems, those companies, those restaurants that are like nobody knows about, but they're so good at what they do. It's the opposite of what you want to be when you have a business. You don't want to be a hidden gem. You want to be under the spotlight, right in front of your target demographic, exactly where they are, where they're shopping, whether it's Amazon, Facebook, in a retail shop, like where they're walking. You want to be front and center in front of your target demographic, and you don't want to be a hidden gem. And that's all because, and Alex Hormozi says it really well once. He said, best known typically beats best. And, that's so true because, like you said, even though that burger is better, you just automatically think of In-N-Out and you're used to it and you see it when you're driving. It's conveniently right on the exit every single time. So it's very, very important to actually promote yourself, get in front of people, get your product out there, your service out there. And the way we do it is when companies are first starting out, again, like I said, it's so hard to differentiate from the competition. So we try to highlight what sets them apart. It's not about like just advertising, but it's about finding what actually sets them apart from the competition and why they're qualified to deliver that. And then once we figure that out, we figure out their message, we write an article about them, make sure it's SEO optimized because nowadays everything's online. So you want to make sure it indexes. You want to make sure the AI is picking it up. ChatGPT picks it up, Grok, all of the AIs are indexing it and picking it up as well. And then we will get it featured in a news outlet of their choice. Hopefully, we try to target their demographic as much as possible. So we'll even adjust the article based off of, if we're targeting women, we'll write it a certain way.
Okay.
And do it that way.
No, that's perfect. And then what would you separate, or what separates you guys from other PR firms?
So we work very differently from traditional PR firms. The way it has been and how I was a customer of PR beforehand, like with my past company, was, and most firms are like this. You go to their website, there's no price, there's no guarantee, you don't really know what you're getting, but there's a book a call, like Calendly link over there.
So let's click a link.
Yeah, it's always, book a call, get on a call with our sales rep. They're obviously going to try to sell $3,000, $5,000 a month retainer. It's not very transparent what you get, and they don't really guarantee much. Okay. So I, as a consumer, I hate getting on calls just to see what the price is, just to, see what I'm even getting. And then, it's probably a good sales rep. He's not going to, he's going to overcome my objections. It's going to take my time. We're going to go back and forth, whether it's a good fit or not. It's just going to take a lot of my time throughout the day. Even if it's 30 minutes, I have to schedule it, make time for it. So I kind of flipped it. No sales calls. We cut that commission out. We don't need to pay a sales rep thousands of dollars to sell $10,000 retainer. That way we're able to sell a lot more, get bulk pricing that we can pass down to our clients, and just make it how I would want it to be if I was a customer. I know exactly what I'm getting. There's a guarantee if I don't get it. There's social proof, hundreds of reviews. We've been featured in hundreds of outlets, and there's no sales call or high pressure pitch involved.
Okay, no, that's perfect. Now on to the KG, PR stunt thing. This is like, now I'm in your office, you're interviewing me and trying to figure out like what my goals are. The only problem I'm having personally for myself, I'm at the trajectory where it's like 4 or 5 hours of sleep a day. I'm so passionate. I love what I do. I like researching the guests I get in. I read about them. I see what podcasts they're in. It's exciting. And like I said, I have Google ad campaigns, like many of the subs that are right there, but like I've seen it from Google Maps or whatever it may be. We're doing a lot of like stuff like that. We're promoting like crazy on Instagram, collaborations, all the guests, all accepting collabs, like from FBI special agents to like top real estate people, like, But my thing is, because I know I'm so like dedicated at what I'm doing right now, by the time this episode is out, I'll probably be on like 40K subs. I still feel like I'm having such quality guests, such great conversations, and I'm a little impatient with like the growth I'm kind of getting, because I'm like, can you not see the guests that are coming on the show? Can you not see the conversation we're having? Like, why is it not out there? Why is it not like, 100K? What's the first thing you would do in my situation? Like what? Because that's my goal, but it's not necessarily the 100K figure, but it's like that plaque creates credibility. Now it's at the point where it attracts bigger clients to try and come here, and vice versa, brand deals, endorsement, and all that kind of thing. It's not like the number of subs, but it's like it represents success in my perspective.
Yeah.
Now, what's the first step we're doing in my situation?
Yeah. So on the PR side of it, I think that's something that should be on every like entrepreneur's like to-do list. But you do it once, and then you leverage that forever. So I would just start. We get some features, which we'll do it. Like this episode, I'll definitely push it out into a bunch of different outlets. And then that is something that you leverage, when you're trying to pitch a guest to come on, or an sponsorship, whatever it is. It's, like our podcast was featured in X, Y, and Z. We've had this guest on, we've grown this much in so and so time. So it's highlighting all of those accolades, putting it in a clear message, like, showcasing it on your Instagram, your YouTube, your social medias. And then again, it's like, we'll definitely get those features, like we'll get those done. That's no problem. And then it's just about leveraging it. And after that point, it's what we kind of talked about earlier, the clipping, the getting the content out there, getting those short reels out to direct them to the podcast and subscribe. And then how we talked about the connections with like Speed and how he does it with FIFA. You're basically doing the same thing with your guests. So every time you get a guest, you're leveraging their audience and vice versa. And I think you're doing everything right. I think PR is just something to check off the to-do list and then not worry about again. And then that way you could leverage it for getting bigger guests, getting bigger sponsorships, and growing.
No, I like that. I like that a lot. And I think, and I think that, public relations is such a big thing, because also the reason for my goal with the 100K thing is the fact that I'm going to be starting a different live show. I studied economics, and I want to try and do something a bit more in like financing. And I saw some of the stuff in like Business Weeks and Fox Business, and I'm like, gosh, then once I get that thing, like I can imagine myself just discussing, like, let's say there's something happened with the federal like chair, like Jerome Powell did like an interest rate. It's something I have a passion for, and I want to be able to discuss as well. But then I saw there's multiple different things that you guys like do, which I was extremely impressed by, like Business Weeks, Fox, all this different stuff. My thing is, how did you get those connections, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so it took a long time, and it's just reaching out to these outlets, trying to see what they're looking for, making deals with them to see, okay, if we hit the criteria that you're looking for in an article, in a news story, what do you need from us to get this done? And then, or finding, writers or journalists at these outlets, and then seeing what they're looking for. And then that way we're able to offer those to our clients, and we'll shape the article in a way where we know that that's what the news outlet's looking for, to make it newsworthy, to make it worth something that they want to publish. And we're always adding more outlets, and that's just, again, it takes time of reaching out, building those connections, and then adding that to our list, which is like a never-ending process. So.
And one thing I want to let the viewers even know, this already takes away all the stress of them trying to figure out how they're going to try and get that exposure as well. And that's the beauty of having a firm that does it, because now all you got to do is focus on your brand, and what you're currently doing, and everything has been taken aside. And I think that's one thing I've realized with the more successful people become and the more prestigious and or like the more established they become, that's the term I'm looking for, they start realizing that convenience and time is very, very important and it's very precious. So by paying for something that is an expert in a certain field, it already deals with that rather than you trying to focus. Because right now, like I said, it's nice and it's amazing. I can probably take myself to 100K, but from 100 to a million, that's when you have to be able to utilize something that's a bit more professional, profound, and you can just focus on like doing the interview as well. And I think it's important for people to understand because convenience is everything. You know what I'm saying? Because you pay for people to do the shortcut that you would not be able to figure out unless you were to do it yourself. So I appreciate that. What's the psychology behind press coverage, and like why does it instantly increase someone's perceived value?
So you're basically like piggybacking off of the credibility of a third party outlet that people already recognize. So something that a brand that they grew for years and years and people all recognize. Now you're kind of taking a little bit of that credibility and tying it to your brand. So again, it's similar to how The Rock and McGregor did it. It's something they've built for years, and then Proper 12 like used McGregor's branding to go into whatever $600 million billion company, whatever it was. But that's basically how it works.
Awesome. And you also help people to jump on bigger podcasts and stuff like that? Not yet.
So not yet. So right now,
Well, code winning is one. We'll talk about that.
yeah, absolutely.
Help them jump in.
Yeah, and I think we have some pretty big clients that I think your audience could learn a lot from and would be great guests, which we'll talk about.
That's what I'm saying for both. I'm saying getting the client to jump on my podcast, but also vice versa, where like, that's exactly that. I think it's so much of knowledge. Who watches the news no more? Like I'll be driving. It's funny. I'm driving back right now. I'm gonna listen to another podcast while trying to listen to my tomorrow's one that's gonna get released. Like I can't remember when last I watched the news. Besides election night, probably that's the last time you watch the news. Podcasting that's how the president got elected as well, because you jumped in the Joe, because people are listening, people are engaging, people are understanding. That's where the world has shifted, because people have become like the media today. You don't sit and watch CNN and Fox News no more. Sometimes you do, but like,
yeah, it's very rare. It's like election, like I feel like TV's people just watch news very rarely, and then sports. It's like live sports. That's pretty much it. And that's the thing too. Like a lot of people get wrong with like PR. I wouldn't use PR. It's not necessarily a marketing to get leads or clients, but it's an authority builder to help you get the leads and the clients through your marketing and everything else that you're doing. So like you said, nobody watches the news really anymore. Like it's so much smaller than before, but everyone Googles a company before they work with them, or a product, or they look for their reviews, or they search that company, that person, that company, whatever it is. And when they look on Google and they see articles from Forbes or USA News or New York Weekly or whatever that is saying that person is an expert at what they do, or that product is actually great.
Exactly.
That is something that they do see. So that's even better than, being on a live TV show, because nobody is really watching that. But when someone is searching you and they see those things, it's just so powerful to get that conversion, to actually convince them to buy.
That's fair. And it's the same thing like with me. If I watch like a TV, because I did an internship like in Bloomberg in New York, so like whenever like there's anything with the federal rates and like stuff like that, I'll tune in for a good like 30 minutes, an hour as well. It's something that interests me. But at the same time, if I say I was featured in Bloomberg or like US News or stuff like that, they're like, okay, credibility is like, oh my gosh, okay, maybe he knows what the heck he's talking about. Because at the end of the day, that's why, like, if I need to get something, what's the first thing I think of? I need to go to Walmart and get something, but it's a brand they've built. There may be something out there better, but I just trust it a bit more because it's something that's just built that much credibility that they don't even have to do advertising at this point, So that's the level I think PR can probably take people. Maybe you might need a bit more advertising, but like it builds credibility.
Yeah.
So.
It's leverage. You're leveraging somebody else's credibility in their brand. So it's, again, like you said, it's a shortcut. It's a quicker way to get there, quicker way to build trust, versus, doing it the long way and, posting for years and years, which is good too. But this is a much quicker way to do it for most entrepreneurs.
And I think that's my personal opinion. I often say, people say, keep posting, keep posting, keep posting. But if you do the exact same thing and expect different results, sometimes that's the definition of what insanity is. You have to go out there. You have to continue building the connections, collaborations and stuff.
Yeah.
Because, and I think that sometimes it's misleading when the Hermoses and stuff. And I like him. I think he's such a great business leader in marketing. But I think that you need to tell people to do more than just post. Yes, consistency is important, but you have to do something different and try and get new reach. And a new build, because I've seen some guy like stuck on maybe like 100 followers and posting like 4 or 5 times, which it's not a bad thing. You're still going to be on the explore pages, but with how the algorithm is going right now, for you to really stand out, you're going to have to do a bit more than just the basic stuff. Would you agree on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I've experienced that too. It's like the Gary V, like Alex Hermosi, like post every day, make organic content, just post, but that works. It definitely works, but it takes a long time to build up. It's like, I'm sure your first few episodes, I mean, you had Andy Elliott, I think, first, right? So that's a big jump start. But for most podcasts, the first 10, 20, 30, whoever, whatever that number is of episodes, it takes a while to build up. And then suddenly now it starts rolling. But it takes a while to build that up with organic posts and social media posts. So advertising, PR, it's a way to leverage and get there a lot quicker.
And then how does AnotherZero stay ahead with the trends, especially with the incorporation of AI and the marketing landscape just changing at such a rapid pace? How are you guys like keeping up with that?
Yeah, so we work with so many customers. And at this point, we've probably worked with clients across over 30 different countries and over 100 industries. So we're able to see what's working within our clients' businesses. And we kind of tailor that to continue to improve whatever we're offering to make it better for all of our clients, because we're able to see like, okay, like this was working really well. This campaign worked really well. Let's see what worked. Let's put it together and like, let's make sure we implement this for all of our clients moving forward. So we're able to see everything in real time that way. And then secondly, like we use PR ourselves. We're always getting more features and we're always advertising. We probably do 100 tests a week across like creatives for Facebook ads, ad copy, headlines, demographic audience tests. And when you're doing like paid advertising like that through Facebook, it's very easy to see what's actually working and what's not very quickly. Even on a day-to-day basis, like, okay, we just launched a campaign, like tomorrow, like let's see how it's working. We're able to analyze the data and see like, okay, this is working now, this isn't working. So that's how we're kind of staying in front of it. And then with AI, I mean, that's so important, like to incorporate in everything that we do, especially for our clients, because like recently, like we've put a big focus on getting our clients' articles indexed as far as like ChatGPT and the AI see it, because I think we're going to slowly move towards people just asking ChatGPT about a company or asking about, whatever AI they use, like about this person or about this product, and seeing what ChatGPT says. So getting it indexed early on right now before, everyone starts doing it, is kind of giving us a head start. So it's very easy for us to get our clients like picked up by the AI already.
Man, that's amazing. Oh, I had another question I wanted to ask. Do you guys also do like billboards? And because I have a dream, that's not like Martin Luther KG. But I wanted to figure out like Times Square and stuff. Like, do you guys have that connection and stuff like that? Because as soon as I touch 100K or like 1 mil, I want like, I don't know, like, because one of my friends, I saw them in a Times Square thing. I think I've seen, and then there's also one in NASDAQ as well. Do you guys have that form of?
Yeah, so okay. we do that too. let me rephrase. We don't really offer that, but we do have those connections. So like we could get it done. But what we are like really focused on is like the online like articles.
Yeah.
Because like I could offer so many things to the clients that will work, but I think this is like the easiest, like quickest win that every business and entrepreneur should do. But we'll definitely get you on like Times Square billboard when.
Yeah,
once
so
you
it's
hit
one of
that
those
thing, the
things where you have it
100K.
as like a
Yeah.
you don't want it the whole day because can you imagine how much like it cost? But it's one of those things where it's like a portrait, like something that's such a credibility. You kind of save as your
Yeah.
story,
Yeah, you
and then
pin that.
you know what I'm saying? It's yeah. But I agree with you. Another thing is Wikipedia. I know I didn't like touch on that earlier, but like Wikipedia and like how can people? Because I think it's such a big thing. When I start seeing somebody and I'm researching and on Wikipedia, I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
You're someone. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys also help clients with stuff like that?
Yeah, so Wikipedia and Google Knowledge Panels. So on the side where you see
Oh,
whenever you
wow.
search someone and they have their image and like their age and information that way, that's Google Knowledge Panel. They kind of work hand to hand, but yeah, we do both of those as well.
Gosh dang, bro. I'm already sold on this darn thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm sold already. Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's a lot of personal ones I want to do. That's the Times Square one, all the different things. The reason why I do like when you spoke about like the online presence is because people are always searching because that's when SEO comes in.
Yeah.
Because you know it's so crazy. Every time I go to like an Airbnb hotel, first thing I do, I'm revealing my secrets right now. Don't judge me. Don't think I'm obsessed with myself. I'm not. I'm just trying to test the waters. So I go in the hotel, go to YouTube and I type in code. I want to see how many times before I type in code before it's in, like code to winning. And it's been getting better. At first it was like code 2 and then I put a W. It was like it wasn't my showing up, but like at my hotel right now and I typed in code 2 without like logging in and then when I typed in the W it was winning. But what I want is like, you know, when Pitbull gave that whole thing, it was like when you type in Pitbull, the rapper shows up rather than the dog. Like my goal is when I type in code and just the T, it shows code to winning on the search bar. So I think that takes time. That's where SEO comes in. For somebody out there that doesn't know SEOs, someone that's just going to be new in media or try and build a personal brand, can you kind of like give a definition of what SEO is?
Yeah, absolutely. So SEO, like you said, it takes time. There's a lot of firms that'll promise big things for SEO and they'll charge, I've seen 30,000 a month, 10,000 a month, like huge retainers. So the thing with SEO, it's very hard to see what's actually being done and see results. So there's like entrepreneurs, I usually tell them like be careful when you're working with the SEO agency because it's very easy for them to tell you like, oh yeah, we're doing all of this work. We're creating these backlinks. We're doing this, that. But it takes time. And then they kind of drag it out for 6 months until the entrepreneur like fires them. And they didn't really do anything. Like that's their whole business model. It's like, let's see how long we could drag this out and how much money we could get out of this entrepreneur. So SEO, I think entrepreneurs, like that's something you have to kind of do on your own.
I agree.
Not as far as like link building, but something very simple. Like when you get a 5-star review, just take a screenshot of that, transcribe, like write the text of that review in the caption, post it on your X, post it on your Instagram, post it on your website, post it on, everywhere that you could post it, put it on Reddit, put it everywhere that Google could kind of trace it. And, it could say like code to winning reviews and, Google's seeing that on Reddit, Google's seeing that on not just YouTube, but Instagram and Twitter and all of these other platforms. And that's how you're going to build those SEO keywords up for code to winning, let's say, or whatever business it is. So it takes time and it takes a lot of posting. But if you see any of my pages, it's like we get all of our reviews, like we put them on every single platform. Like we want to leverage every single one. We want to make sure we utilize that for SEO and credibility as much as possible. And that takes time.
No, solid, man. That's super solid. And you've obviously built a brand, you've built a team, you've built a company right now. What would you say is then the hardest part about building a service-based business?
So with that, it's very important to have a good team. Like I really believe Systems are very important, but when you get to a certain point, it's how good is your team? How can, you know, how can they handle everything where you can trust them to do the things that you don't need to do, so then you can focus on getting more clients and scaling. So it's very important for having a good team. And that goes to like, you know, you have to take care of your team, take care of the people that are on your team. If they're worried about, you know, their pay, or they're worried about making ends meet or their job or whatever it is, how can they actually deliver to your clients? You know, like you have to make, like I truly believe like you have to make it their life easy so then they can make your clients' life easy. So when, you know, my team, I'm always thinking like, you know, how can I take extra steps out of their tasks or their day? How can I give them the tools to make their job easier? So then again, they could give better care to our clients.
Solid. And do you watch football, European football?
Not too much. More basketball.
What's your basketball team?
Celtics.
Oh, the interview's done, bro. I don't want to. I feel sick right now.
I was waiting
Bro,
for
you
it.
can't say that right next to Crypto.com Arena. That's an abomination.
I know.
Oh, no. Thank goodness Jason Tatum didn't win, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
But the reason I was going to talk about this thing, you know David Beckham, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, owner of Inter Miami. But before then, like football was always such a grassroots, aggressive, like an electrifying sport. Being in South Africa, we used to watch games because we have the same time zone as like England and stuff and Europe. And so David Beckham, I feel like was the beginning of like PR in football, like a good-looking guy, and then you know hairstyles would change up, mohawk, and then he has the long hair and all the different stuff. And I'm looking back at then. Not only did he have a good team, but he literally gave heed to instructions and like trying to like build a brand, build this thing. He was Adidas. He wasn't like the most gifted. Like there were way better players than what he was. But you started seeing it, and that's when like after that era, that's the Cristiano Ronaldo and the Messi era. And you know Ronaldo, his brand is everything. He can post one thing, it's gonna sell like the next day. You know what I'm saying? To somebody out there right now, wanting to start with AnotherZero, what form of like guarantee? I know it's hard to really guarantee everything today, but what could you let them know about what they're going to gain from AnotherZero?
So the way we work with so many different news outlets, and they're always making changes. They're always updating their websites or changing their prices, things like that. So we try not to guarantee anything on that side of it, just because we can't control the news outlets. Exactly. They're always changing, but we can control what we do. So we try to, we deliver articles within 24 hours. We make sure that we're transparent throughout the entire process with the client. We make sure we, conduct SEO research and research into the company and their competitors. We try to make sure we tailor everything to actually highlight their company. And then if we can't deliver because the news outlet changed a policy or whatever it is that they changed on us, 100% money back guarantee, like no questions asked. Like if we can't deliver, nobody should pay. And we truly believe that. And if we can't find, an alternative that they'd prefer, a lot of times we'll upgrade clients to a bigger outlet or a bigger package just because we couldn't deliver on the one that they purchased initially. So as far as hardcore deliverable, like that's what we do. As far as like ROI bottom line, like we make sure to give the client all the tools they need to take advantage of the feature. So we'll give them the as seen, like a custom as seen on banner, social media kit, HTML code to add it to their website. We'll give them a full guide on showing them how they could, scripts on how they could seamlessly integrate that feature mentioned into their sales pitch, into their scripts on the phone, add it to their ads, add it to their landing page.
Wow.
So we will show them like 50 different ways that they could leverage this feature. And if you do that, like it's almost guaranteed that you're going to see an improvement, like in conversion rates, in marketing, in sales, in recruiting. A lot of our clients too, they use these to get investors into their company, and it just helps open so many doors. So that's what we try to help our clients with.
That's solid, man. And the $97, is that like that's obviously the beginning start, but that's still a good price. It's a no-brainer. $97. You can go DoorDash right now, and then by the end of you can get 97 and start putting that to the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think 97 is a bargain, man.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you don't mind me asking, what does 97 at least get you?
Yeah, great question. So the 97, that includes us doing the research, the SEO, everything that I mentioned, the 97 includes. So we'll research the client, do SEO research, write an 800 to 1,000 word article on the client's business. They get to choose the outlet that they want out of, I think we have over 60 different options right now, and we're always adding more. But they get to choose the outlet, they get the custom as seen on banner, the social media kit, the maximizing PR guide that we give to everyone with the scripts and the different ways to utilize it. That's all included in the 97 promotion. So we really believe on delivering right away and over delivering. And then, if we do that, which we have been, I think that's why we've seen such great growth, because clients are going to want to come back and do more because we've already gave them such a big win.
That's smart, man. And then obviously, when you say they choose the outlet, they can choose Forbes, Newsweek, and all the different stuff as well.
So the outlets, the list is always changing. We try to have at least 60 great options, 50, whatever it is. Pretty much everything that shows up on our ad or our landing page is things that they could choose from. Again, they're always changing their policies, so maybe one or two we might have to swap out. But yeah, like USA News, New York Weekly, Women's Insider, Men's Insider, CEO Times, Biz Weekly, all of these outlets, they could choose from whichever one they want. And we'll also help them. We think with your target demographic and the timing of the trends right now, if we hit this news outlet with your product or service, I think it could do really well. So we'll help them and consult with them on that as well.
Wow.
But yeah, they could choose from over 60 options. All of them index, come with do follow backlinks for SEO, and then we make sure that they get that as seen on banner they could throw on everywhere as well.
Why aren't people doing this? This is a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are doing it, but yeah, it's something that I think every entrepreneur should be doing it. It's the first thing that I did for my past companies once I did it the first time and saw the results. But it's such a no-brainer. It's when you're making your logo look nice, get the credibility, put on your website, make it look nice with that as well, build the trust.
So the reason I'm bringing that up as well. So my first 1,000 subscribers, how it was done, I printed out a pamphlet of my podcast. This was way before I even got Andy Elliott there. I just wanted to kind of drop it out there. Mm-hmm. And then what I did, over hundreds and hundreds, I spent about 2 months door dashing and with my QR code there. And I told people listen, don't tip me or anything. All I want you to do is I want you to scan the QR code and I want you to subscribe to my channel. I did that, which was very creative, and I liked it because people, and I was giving it to everyone because I talk to everyone because of just my sales background. Mm-hmm. So whether it's somebody working at McDonald's, whether it's somebody I'm dropping something, whether it's a fellow DoorDasher that's waiting for the thing. So I was always giving out. I had to give out at least between 20 to 50 a day, but I'm not going to see 50 customers because you're knocking on. So you're giving to as many, and it started growing. And then I was like, oh, that's amazing, that's amazing. But then you realize there's obviously a smarter way to do it, but it's a nice kick boosting. Mm-hmm. But my also concern with that is the fact that people were subbing, but they weren't watching. So they were doing it out of love. So it's listen, eventually, because I got monetized super quick after my third episode of the Navy SEAL veteran guy. But my thing is people were not watching. So I was getting a great sub organic count, but with the watch hours were super low. So it's that. That's when marketing comes in. That's where getting to the right audience that would like the thing that you're giving, people that like business, people that like building personal brand, people that like to market, people that want to get out there as well. So, and I think that's one thing I've realized about marketing, because I feel yes, I'm getting all the right stuff, and every time I get a different guest, I'm my mind blows. I'm wow, why have I not done that all this time? It's just crazy. Okay, do you want to add a bit more again on PR? Anything that you may have left out?
Nothing for PR, but I want to add, like, the marketing thing is, you hit it on, like, right on. Marketing is so important. It's like, I think the number one mistake that businesses make is that they don't market enough, they don't promote enough, especially when they're just starting out. So a lot of times people will, when they're just starting a business, they'll worry about their logo, their website, their Instagram page, their packaging, their product. Like, they worry about 100 things. They spend, weeks, and I've made this mistake so many times myself, making sure everything is perfect before going to market, before actually advertising and getting in front of customers, only to see that no one really wants that specific service or that product. There really isn't a market for it or a need for it. So the way I started to do it after learning that painful lesson, and I've helped so many people launch businesses this way too, and we've seen great results, but is start with advertising. Okay, so start with the ad. And it's very simple. Like, what I'll do now is I'll get a simple image with a call out at the top, like, hey, business owners. In the middle, put whatever the service is, for example, monthly bookkeeping. And at the bottom, I'll put the price too, $300 a month. And I'll launch that simple one picture ad on Instagram or Facebook ads. Spend $100 and see if people actually want it. Do people want $300 a month bookkeeping? And if I'm getting leads for $5, and I've actually had a friend that I helped do this for monthly bookkeeping, so he was getting leads for around $6 to $8 for a $300 a month service. And now we know, okay, this is something worth building out. This is something people are interested in. Versus, building something out and then realizing no one wants it. So the good thing about this too, even better than finding something that does work, is finding the things that didn't work, and you just save 6 months of, potential time and thousands of dollars, because now with $100 and 1 day's worth of work, you already know no one is interested in $100 whatever it is that you're selling. So I think starting with ads is super important.
And I also noticed on my ads, I should definitely do it. Like, my least engagement app is Facebook. I mean, it's maybe because I have, like, my aunt, my grandmom, and, like, it's just like a thing you had a while. It's like it's now becoming as obsolete as MySpace. Not really, but, like, I'm just thinking, like, how Facebook ads, I've heard, is the most, like, effective way. I haven't even tried it yet. Like, would you say, in terms of, like, how they do search engines and stuff, do you think it's a good way of how to get reach as well? Because my Instagram, my reach is good there. Like, I boost every now and then. I'll promote a few things, and, like, and obviously YouTube as well. But Facebook is just, I just log on every now and then because I just automatically do. But I think I need to do better at that in terms of advertising. How would you say it's a very effective way?
Yeah, Facebook. I love Facebook. Facebook and Instagram ads are, like, my favorite thing my favorite way. So even when my past company, we were doing 35 million a year, and that was, like, we did bus ads, billboards, mailers, everything you could think of. And one of the biggest things that we, and Facebook and Instagram obviously, but one of the biggest, like, improvements that we made was just cutting everything else out and just focusing on Facebook. And that really, like, let us scale a lot. And Facebook is how we do all of our advertising right now. And we use PR to, help Facebook with getting those conversions. So all of our ads have our, as seen on logos. Our landing page has it. But yeah, Facebook is super important. So I know you said you boost posts on Instagram. For most types of business, boosting posts, just for the listeners, like, don't boost your posts on Instagram if you're actually, like, trying to sell a product or a service.
Why?
It's not effective at all. So the boosting it's just for, like, getting likes and engagement and getting in front of people, but it's not built for conversions and getting actual sales or leads.
Interesting.
So Facebook knows what type of people just view content, what type of people fill out their information, which people actually purchase. So if you, based off of whatever your goal is on Facebook, like through Ads Manager, if you put it for sales or if you put it for leads, Facebook is going to show it to the right people that are most likely to fill out a lead form or most likely to go to your website, actually put their credit card in and purchase. So boosting for most businesses, I know podcast is different. Like, you're trying to get in front of more people, get more viewers. But when you actually have a service or you're trying to get leads or you're trying to get sales, boosting is like, I've never seen it actually give a ROI. So it's not good at all. Just a tip for most people.
No, I'm glad.
Yeah.
So now that you opened up that can of worms, so the reason why, well, not the boosting part, I 100% agree with that. It's helped in terms of subs and stuff like that. But I'm saying the reason why that 100K subs was like the goal is it's the fact that when rebuilding a brand new studio in downtown Salt Lake, and then renting out, like doing memberships of people that want to try and rent out in the studios and stuff like that, and then also doing a consulting for those that want to try and start a podcast and stuff like that. You have to have been somewhere, and you have to have a goal that you reached, and now you can actually teach it. Does that make sense? And so it's all these different stuff, and obviously the PR is great for that. But that's where I was trying to like kind of also get at, because I feel I've heard you and many people speak about the importance of Facebook marketing and how great it's been. I just haven't utilized as much. And do you guys do it, or do you give people the guide for them to do their Facebook stuff like that?
So we do it for ourselves, and then we work with a lot of agencies as well that resell our services. So SEO agencies and marketing agencies, and the reason they use us is because they get to get those, as seen on logos, which immediately helps Facebook ads. Like if you're advertising on Facebook, one of the easiest ways to increase conversions is, put those as seen on logos on the ad, put it on the landing page. And it's such a simple, like takes 2 seconds to add, and right away you see an increase in conversions. But as far as like us doing it for our clients, we don't do that right now. Maybe that's something down the line, but we do it for ourselves and use PR to kind of hypercharge our Facebook ads and make them convert a lot better.
And then do you guys have a Discord or Telegram for clients, or is that 97? Is that a retainer or a monthly thing?
That's a one-time investment.
What?
Yeah.
If you have not, I'm leaving that in the description section. Build your brand. One-time fee. No brainer.
Yeah.
I spent that in food yesterday. I went to a nice buffet, by the way, but like, no, that's oh, what? But what about like people that constantly want PR? I'm one of those. I don't necessarily just want a one-time. I want constant stuff. I want to jump on this thing. Like I said, once I end up launching that that live show, I'm going to be getting a few guests that are in finance. We're going to be breaking down like current events and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's one of those things where I want constant reach, because the problem sometimes that people get, they have a goal, 100K subs, and then plateau begins. I'm like, no way, that's the beginning. That's when like you fuel up the engine and you keep going, because momentum is everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So no, do you have like other memberships and stuff like that?
Yeah, so we have a subscribe and save option. That's 20% off, so $77 a month. And again, that includes everything. We write an article every month, send you the list of outlets to choose from. Again, do our research. If we hit a certain demographic last month, we'll try to tailor it to a new demographic and new keywords the next month. So that's an ongoing plan that we have. And then, we have other plans that we could like tailor if a customer is looking for a specific outlet or specific thing that they want to launch or whatever it is. We'll see what works best for them. But yeah, that's the 97 is just the one-time investment. Like we genuinely care about delivering and over-delivering. And I obsess over this. So like every day I'm trying to think like, okay, how can we deliver more value? How can we give our clients, how can we deliver quicker, make sure they get better results, give them the tools, to the cheat sheets and the guides and the scripts and templates that they could right away like implement this into their business. Because I know that if we help them, like they're gonna want to come back for more business. And I think that's why we've been able to like grow so quickly, even on Trustpilot, and get like we average probably 3 5-star reviews a day, 2 or 3 a day.
Bamba clot.
Yeah. So and that for me is like more fulfilling than seeing like a sale. Like when I see a 5-star review and like how we help the small business owner or coach or an author sell their book or whatever it is, get their message out there. it's a really good feeling. And that's what we're trying to do, like make sure we help these small business owners and hopefully not add to their to-do list, but take things off of it.
Dude, absolute no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. Well, then what would you say is like a big myth or misconception with people about featuring in a top-tier publication?
So one thing that, I mean, it's been like this for years, and most people think like, okay, this is only for celebrities or public companies or businesses with, millions of dollars in sales or hundreds of employees. So a lot of people think it's all that because it has been for so long. For years and years, it was only available to those companies that had those connections and were willing to spend so much, like thousands and even millions of dollars on PR campaigns. But now everything is changing with how online businesses are and the news outlets and AI, and now we're able to offer it to small business owners that are like that burger shop that is doing something really great, and maybe they're not focused on PR or advertising because that's not their specialty, but they're really good at making burgers or they're really good at delivering services to their clients. So we want to, like you said, it's a cheat code of hiring someone that has already figured it out, and we do that for them. So then they can focus on doing what they do best, which is, delivering to their clients.
Awesome. And then would you say you currently right now have a model to implement somebody from no presence, social media presence, to recognized, to extremely well known, to Alex Hormozi? Too soon to say. Yeah. But I know I don't want a yes or no answer, but like, would you at least say you have the tools or you have the trajectory to get those tools to get people there?
So
some people don't want that. Some I really think people don't necessarily want. It depends on what they want. Mm-hmm. I want to be on Forbes cover. I want to be that cover at a later stage. Mm-hmm. I want that stuff, but it's not. It's that credibility that I crave more than anything, more than the clout chasing. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I want to say, listen. I was here. I need you on the podcast. This is what happened. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you want to establish yourself as the expert in whatever you're talking about. I know you said economics and finance, and you want to talk more about that in the future. And it's why am I qualified to talk about these things, and why should people listen to me about these things? And that's where the credibility, like, oh yeah, Forbes cover, this and that. That's where the credibility comes. As far as helping businesses at different levels or entrepreneurs. In the like getting to Alex Hormozi takes a lot of time.
It does.
Building that brand, it's not something that you can get overnight at that level, but we can very quickly deliver, articles in top outlets that give people the credibility that they can use in their ads and their websites and their scripts and things like that. So getting to Alex Hormozi level, that takes time, and ultimately that comes down to are you genuinely delivering a good service to your customers? Because you could have every feature in the world. You could be featured in Forbes, but if you have 1-star rating on Yelp, you're rated 1 stars on Yelp or Trustpilot, it doesn't really matter much. If you genuinely don't help your clients, you don't deliver a good service, then you could be featured anywhere, and it really isn't going to make that much of a difference because you're not actually great at what you do or deliver something good to your clients. So I want to, we try to do it so, our clients focus on what you're good at, deliver a good product to your customers, deliver a good service, and we'll highlight those great things that you're good at that set you apart from the competition and put it in the news and get it in front of your target demographic.
Awesome. And then what's the next big shift for PR?
So I think with PR and the way AI is going, I think PR is completely going to change over the next few years because this is probably one of the last few windows of being able to get featured in these news outlets so easily. Once AI starts, AI content, and it's already starting, once AI starts taking over all the content online, people are just putting out just junk content through AI. These news outlets, I think, are going to get really much more strict on what they're publishing, what they're allowed to publish, and it's going to be much harder for people to get into them because other people ruined it through, bad content or bad, using AI to mess with Google's algorithm or whatever it is, or news outlets think like these news outlets or they're using deep fakes to make fake things and do scams. So these news outlets are going to get a lot more strict on like, okay, like we need to make sure like this person is not a scam or a deep fake or just the AI person. Like, are they actually a real person? Do they actually have a real company? Do they actually serve their clients and deliver on their promises? And I think that is going to increase their prices because they're going to have to be so diligent about, like, they have to go through so much more. So I think their prices are going to get a lot more. It's going to get a lot harder for, small businesses that don't have much presence to get into it initially. So I think it's really important right now for people, like, you invest in it one time, you use it forever. And like once you're invested, once you're featured, it helps you get future features. That's a like tongue twister, but
no, it's true.
It's it's absolutely true. Like for example, like we were featured in a few outlets, and then Forbes picked us up naturally. Like we didn't reach out to them. We didn't even know about it until like I think I saw it 2 weeks after it was published. Like, oh, like we were in Forbes, and I was just searching our name on Google, and I see an article pop up, and it's like, top 5 businesses to look out for in 2024, I think it was, whatever it was, and it was like ChatGPT, American Airlines, a couple other ones, and then us, and it was like I didn't even know about it. So getting these features, it leads to more features, and it builds your credibility that now other news outlets want to feature you because they see, oh yeah, you've been here and here, we could trust you. You're obviously an expert. So now they kind of piggyback on that.
Dude, that's amazing stuff, man. And as we conclude right now, winning is code to winning. I often feel like it's important for people to understand the importance of winning in their life and in their business and whatever they're doing as well. However, the term winning is so different for each and every single guest. And I often ask them towards the end because it's the code to winning insights that you need today to seize the world tomorrow. In your definition, what does the term winning mean?
So winning, I think might sound cliche, but it's like persevering through the problems. Like, especially as an entrepreneur, it's like constant fires that pop up. It's especially over the past year, like when you're really scaling, like you see so many things that just come up that you think, okay, like this changes everything. Like we need to figure it out. And a lot of companies don't, and they fail. But when you get those obstacles or those things that are inevitable to come for every business, it's about figuring it out, persevering through it, and then I think that is the winning part. But you need, like, it has to be hard, and then that's what makes it worthwhile, and like what it actually means. Like, okay, I figured it out, and I ended up, getting past that thing that, I thought was gonna cripple our company or was gonna make us bankrupt.
Love that so much. If you could look at this camera here and let our viewers know where they could get a hold of you if they want to be able to get featured, like your website, your social media, do you take DM? Just let us know as well, please.
Yeah, so you can find us at AnotherZero.com. That's just spelled out ZERO. I'm on Instagram, Nic Abelian, NIC, no K. But if you are watching this, DM me CTW or Code to Winning, mention Code to Winning or KG, and I'll make sure we get you some bonuses and extra stuff to take care of listeners for this podcast. And of course, subscribe to KG, and I think it's awesome what you're doing.
Awesome stuff. The code to winning insights you need today to seize the world tomorrow. You better click at the link below. $97, no brainer. Enjoy.